Hi, fourth graders. We Zoomed today. We did a lesson exploring careers, and that kind of kicks off our next unit, talking a little bit about what might be some good fit careers for you. We'll be taking some surveys, getting to really think about our personalities, and then we'll be having some guest speakers come in and talk to us about their careers, which is one of the favorite parts of the career unit that we do, is hearing from people in the field about the jobs they do, hearing the good, the bad, the reality, and kind of learning through them and from them. But before we have our speakers, I want to do a quick survey with all of you just to get you thinking about careers in general. So I put this in our Google Classroom, but we will do it here today as well. Slideshow, play from start. So a copy of this is in our classroom, but this is basically a little quiz to get to know yourself. All you need is a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen, so just something to keep track of, unless you have a really good memory. And if you do, bless you, go ahead and use it. But all we're going to be doing is answering 4 slides worth of questions. And in the end, we will end up with 4 letters. And those 4 letters will be your code, your career code. Now, this doesn't mean this career is for you forever. You're stuck with this code. It's just a way of right now in your life, this might be something, a job or two, a career or two, that might be a good fit for you. If you took this survey next year, when you're in 5th grade, you might get a completely different result, or you might get the same. So part 1, here's what I did, but I'll put the official score sheet in our Google Classroom. I'm just going to count up how many E's or I's I get, and then I'll have a winning letter over here. So basically, look at question 1. When I spend time with my friends, I either talk more than I listen, which is a letter E, or listen more than I talk. So if you are more of an E or more of an I, write down your letter. I'm more of an I. Second question, when I make a decision, I act first, then think about it later. Or I think first, I think a lot, and then I decide. So are you an E or an I? I'm an I again. Number 3, when I am in a group, I like to be the leader, which is an E, or I like to sit back and observe, which is an I. So I have 3 I's so far. What do you have? Number 4 is I would describe myself as outgoing and enthusiastic, which is an E, or quiet and calm. Now this one's hard for me because I do have different personalities. But in general, I would say in my personal life, I'm an I. I'm more quiet and calm. But with my job, it forces me to be outgoing and enthusiastic. And then number 5, I prefer to do lots of things at once or focus on one thing at a time. I rather do I, but I end up doing E a lot. So my natural letter is I, but I think now that I'm older, I'm more of an E. So anyway, get your first letter. Here's your second letter. Is your letter going to be an S or an N? When I do my schoolwork, I work at a steady pace, which is S. Just one by one, you do your assignments. Or do you work in bursts of energy? Like all of a sudden you have 2 hours and you're like, I'm gonna get all this done and then I'm going to crash. Do you work in bursts of energy? Number 2, I tend to admire or like things that are logical and practical. Or are you more of the creative sort? Number 3, when it comes to time, I tend to think about the present, like today, here and now. Or do I think about the future? Next week, the summer, my birthday, which is next fall. Do you think more of today or in the future? Number 4, when trying to figure out something new, do you like step-by-step directions, which is an S, or do you like to figure things out on your own? That's an N. Like, oh, I don't want to read the directions. I just want to figure it out. And 5, when I make a big decision, I think about my past experiences, Like, okay, what did I do last time? What worked for me or didn't work for me last time? Or do you trust your gut? Are you an N? You just do it. So you'll have a second letter now, an S or an N. Your third letter will be a T or an F. Other people probably see me, number one, as calm and relaxed, which is a T, or warm and friendly. Number two, when I disagree with someone, I like to argue my point of view. I like to have a discussion. Well, I think, well, here's my opinion. Or would you rather avoid arguments and discussions? You just want everyone to get along. Number three, I am motivated most. This is a hard question, I think, for kids, even for some adults, me included. Am I more motivated by doing well and achieving great things? Like feeling accomplished, like I make a beautiful piece of art, I write a fantastic story, I meet my goals? Or do you really appreciate people telling you praise and recognizing you? Like saying thank you, saying good job. That's a hard one. Number four, I make decisions by thinking about the facts. Okay, here's the information. What am I going to do with it? Or think about my feelings. Well, I think, I feel. Okay, so facts or feelings. And number five, I am most likely to take few things personally. You know, not much bothers me. I don't get offended easily. I don't get my feelings hurt very easily. Or do you take many things personally? Like, yes, I get my feelings hurt a lot. Or yes, I care about what other people say and think. Do you take things more to heart? Both are fine. It's just who you are. So now you have a T or an F. And the last one, are you a J or a P? Number one, when I have to make decisions, it is very easy. Like, yep, I can make a decision. What am I going to wear? What am I going to have for lunch? Or very difficult. What should I wear today? What's the weather going to be like? What's going on after school? Do you think through things more? Number two, I prefer to finish projects. Oh, I love turning it in and being done. Or do you love starting projects? Like, oh, I get to start a new activity, a new project, a new whatever. Number three, when it comes to rules, I see the need for them, which is a J. Yes, I think we should have rules. I think everyone should know exactly what is expected. Or I question the need for them, like, why do we have to have rules at recess? Why do we have to have rules in the cafeteria? Number four, I like to have a schedule or a plan, like the schedule that we were given. Like, I like this. This helps me. Or would you rather be a P? Would you rather be more spontaneous and keep things flexible? Like, oh, we'll have math at one time, but oh, tomorrow we're going to do it at a different time. And last one, five, I prefer to work first, play later. So you're like, I just want to get all my work done so I can relax. Or are you a play first, work later? Oh, I don't want to work. I want to do this fun stuff. And then later on, I'll get to my work. So which do you have more of? J's or P's? And that's your fourth letter. So here you go. All you need to do now, boys and girls, is decide, or none more deciding, fill in. Your first letter, was it an E or an I? Your second letter, was it an S or an N? Your third letter, a T or an F? Your fourth letter, a J or a P? That's your code. Now, all you need to do is find which of the four color codes your letters match. I won't go through all these. They're in your Google Classroom if you want to really break it down and take more time with this. But if those are any letter combination that you have, ISFP, ESFP, ISTP, or ESTP, we're going to lump you in the red careers. Now, these colors are random. They don't mean anything. But a red career would be considered an artist, a creator, crafter, composer, good at communicating, very flexible, kind of go with it. And then we have a breakdown of specific careers with your specific letters. So again, this is in your classroom, or you can pause the recording to check this out. If these were your letters, we'll lump you into the blue career category. INTP, ENTP, INTJ, or ENTJ. You're more of the rational, think it through, and then go from there abstractly. Sometimes strong-willed because you've got a rational, you like, this makes sense. This is why I'm thinking this. You like to learn and set goals. There's general careers like architect, scientist, lawyer, computer programmer, financial planner, but here are more specific ones with your letters in mind. So again, pause, find your letters, check it out. Here are our yellow careers: ISTJ, ESTJ, ISFJ, and ESFJ. The guardians, you like to do good deeds, you're very cooperative, good at communicating. Volunteers, firefighters, nurses, secretaries, salespeople. You have good people skills. Here's a breakdown by specific 4 letters. Pause to take a look if this is you. And our last lump of folks are our green folks, the INFP, ENFP, INFJ, or ENFJ. We call you the healers. You really are empathetic. You care about people. You really understand how people feel, and you like knowing that. You're very honest and authentic. You work well with people. Teachers, nurses, school counselors, ding, ding, ding. Even event coordinators, like you might help people plan weddings or parties because you're good at helping others. And there are your specific letters. Again, pause if you want to see careers that really match your specific code. And then just a couple questions to think about. Did you learn anything today that surprised you? Why might choosing a career that matches your color or personality be important? What happens, do you think, when people's colors or personalities don't match their careers? What happens when there's kind of not a good mesh? Why is thinking about careers important even in elementary school? Like, why are we talking about it now when you're like 9 or 10 years old? And last question, what can you do now to help you reach your career goal? So start thinking not just today, but into the future. That is all I have. Now, I hope you found it engaging. I hope it got you thinking about careers. Until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.